So it was our last day in Kuala Lumpur after 14 days here in KL. It's been a pretty amazing experience right from the landing on the plane. We felt like there was a pretty cool vibe in this city. Definitely been a lot different than China.
So this time we stayed in a hostel, the Explorers Guest House, and it's been a really comfortable place to stay. They are very good at cleaning up around here, very helpful at the front.
This place is spotless.
Yeah.
Spotless, very clean. I was surprised at how many Canadians we've met here. This place is super multicultural. It's kind of similar to Canada in a way, but a lot more different languages. Everybody speaks English here, which is nice.
Or at least a little bit. There's Malay, there's a lot of Indians, there's Chinese, there's a lot of people from Bangladesh, there's people from Indonesia, Nepal, so it's like very multicultural, all sorts of languages. The multiculturalism is a little easier to see here because they've got all sorts of temples.
People are very friendly here. I guess first day here we were walking down the street and taking a look at the Chinese temple. A nice little old Chinese man came and bowed to us and he said, "You can go in, take a look." So we went in. Man, they burn a lot of incense in there. It smelled amazing.
It was
a beautiful place. And then we went onward to the Indian temple, which is amazingly, the painted colors on the buildings here are just phenomenal. It's a very different place. It is very touristy though. You see like there's a lot of European people here. In China, we barely saw any white people at all. Here, there's tons. There's tons of English speaking. I think it would have been an easier way to kind of get into a travel mode if you were to go to Southeast Asia. This would be a great kickoff spot.
Oh, the food was awesome here. There was this little place that we found. It's just a stall kind of in the alley where we would go, and we got dal every morning for breakfast. When we first got here, we found it a little difficult because there's not fruit stands like there are in Hainan where we were. Hainan
fruit is very amazing. We were told that once you get out of the city, it can be really good, but the fruit here in the city doesn't hold a candlestick to however you want to say it. The fruit here is not comparable to Hainan. That being said, the food that's available, especially for vegetarians and vegans, there's a lot more available. Vegetarian, Buddhist, Chinese places. There's tons of vegetarian Indian places. The Indian places are a little bit harder to eat at as a vegan because they do use butter and milk.
A lot of butter and milk, ghee.
So you have to ask, and hopefully there's not too much of a language barrier because people are definitely like freshly moved here. They have their own little communities.
One thing with the vegetarianism here, they have a lot of faux meats. We're actually not like particular to faux meats. We just prefer plain vegetable dishes and fruits and that kind of thing. But if you're someone who's trying to maybe work into vegetarianism and you're missing that meat taste, I suppose, this would definitely be the place to start. We even had one experience where we went to a Chinese restaurant. We got their special dish and it was a soya fish, and Don took a bite of it and actually couldn't finish it because it tasted that much like fish.
Hey, yeah, no, the fish dish was like, I wasn't convinced it wasn't fish. It was wrapped in seaweed and that's what gave it the fishy taste, and then it was battered and braised. I took one bite of it and it was very, very fishy. Like you could not tell. I was not convinced until she came over at the end of the meal. She explained it was bean tofu, and seaweed and spices. It was quite the experience with the faux meats. We went to a Buddhist temple for lunch. They serve hundreds of people for lunch every day. They have a buffet and you just go in and you pick what you want and you bring it up. It was very inexpensive. We spent 14 ringgit for two of us to eat full meals
with
and
tea.
Have tea. And what an amazing experience. Found some great like potato curry, found some great greens, lots of rice dishes, even just snacks on the street.
Bao.
They have little bags, they call them bao, Chinese, and they are full of sometimes sesame, sometimes like pumpkin, lotus, all different types of filling. And man, they're delicious. They're just like a little tiny sweet cake almost that you can have after a meal. So
little treat. One of them is 150 ringgit.
Other things we did in Kuala Lumpur, we went to Batu Caves, which is a large Indian temple built in caves.
There's a huge statue at the front that's covered in 300 liters of gold paint. It's right in front of the 272 stairs leading up to the main cave. The coolest experience of it was the monkeys. There were macaque monkeys,
tons of them, from
all
like
over.
This big to the size of a large dog.
They're really cute, but they're very used to people being there, and there's stands where you can buy food to feed them.
A lot of people were feeding them. Unfortunately, our time at Batu Caves was cut a little bit short because on our descent down the stairs, Tina had an unfortunate incident. A large macaque was scaring off a smaller one, and he didn't like that she was standing there. He grabbed her by the arm and bit her arm.
Yeah, I just felt something on my arm, and I screamed and looked down, and I saw his big fang in my arm, and I couldn't believe he had bit me.
You don't see, like, they're pretty friendly. They play with people's hair and stuff, and everybody's feeding them. They try and steal water bottles from people.
I wasn't even looking at him.
Yeah, we had no water bottles. We had no food with us. We were just on our descent. It was an unfortunate incident. Luckily, there was a clinic right across the road.
I got a rabies shot. They gave me some antibiotics. They gave me some medicine for pain and swelling.
So, Batu Caves was a little short-lived.
The monkey bite definitely was not fun.
It was a highlight. That's what I say. We'll never forget the monkey bite. Another great kind of animal experience I had, there was a botanical gardens in kind of the downtown area here. I was running there one day and I saw out of the corner of my eye some movement off the path. Turned out to be two 3-foot-long monitor lizards, very similar to a Komodo dragon. Kind of peaceful experience to have in the city.
We've joined a site called couch surfing. Dawn was on there and saw a dragon back trek to go hiking up the Bukit Tabur. We got up really early in the morning, 4 a.m. There ended up being 13 people who came.
We started hiking in the morning before the sun came up. The 13 of us went up to about halfway to the first peak on the west side. We stopped there to kind of like eat our breakfast. We had just an amazing sunrise. The sun rose in the east, which we were facing. It was breathtaking. The hike was incredible. It was very, very vertical. We had to do a lot of rock climbing and hang off of ropes to kind of let ourselves down to plateaus.
It was the funnest hike.
What an amazingly empowering experience.
A lot of people hadn't read prior to going that it was actually a hike for more experienced people. It was nice to be able to, help someone else through that, and I know they were very proud that they were able to make it through at the end as well. So it was a great experience for everyone.
On the way down, we came across a bunch of fruit trees. Everybody started picking fruit. We came across
long sap first.
Yeah.
Or also called lanzones.
We also came across some rambutan trees, which we got some rambutan from. Tina managed to climb a jackfruit tree and get us a jackfruit. And we ate a lot of fruit. When we got to the bottom,
there was this beautiful pool that we got to go in and go swimming after. And there was this tiny little cliff that people had fun like jumping off of.
We had people from the United States, Slovakia,
Egypt,
Vietnam, Egypt,
Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia,
India,
Canada. So there was...
Everybody was from different places. It was quite the multicultural event. It was an amazing experience. I would say that was definitely the #1 highlight.
Iconic things here. We actually were out on a walk and we stumbled right across the Petronas Towers. All of a sudden we looked up and we were right in front of them. So we went to the Central Market.
Turned out that it was right around the corner. So we managed to go to the market there as well. And Pedaling Street, which is packed every night. There's tons of Chinese lanterns just right in Chinatown, and everybody's haggling for the cheapest price. We're packed up and headed up to Genting Highlands now. Viper Challenge King of the Mountain next week, so we're going to do some training. That's a recap of what we did here in Kuala Lumpur.
So, until next time,
Peace,
love,
compassion. Everybody go out there, play safe, have a great time, and we'll talk to you soon.
We'll be right back.